This story is called Love the Rope. This is a story that came from a movie. The movie was called Rolling Thunder. The actor is William Devane, I believe his name is. And he played a Vietnam vet who is now back in the States. The war's over. He's back in the States. And he had been a POW in Vietnam, just like John McCain. He'd been locked up for years in a POW camp. And he was with his friend, his neighbor, in the garage. And the neighbor said to him, "Hey, were you ever tortured when you were being held in Vietnam, North Vietnam?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, I was, in fact. Let me show you what happened to me." So he gets a rope. Remember, they're in the garage. He gets a rope and he gives it to his friend. He then gets down on his knees. He's on his knees. He puts his hands behind his back. He tells his friend to tie his hands together behind his back with the rope that he gave him. So the guy does this. Now he's on the ground, on his knees, with the rope tied behind his back. And then he says to his friend, "Pull the rope." So the friend starts pulling the rope, and as he's doing that, his arms start going up. And they get to a point where it's past the point of comfort, and he keeps going and keeps going, and he's like screaming, but he's smiling at the same time. And the guy, the neighbor who's pulling the rope, gets freaked out because he's pulling he's got his arms in a completely unnatural position, straight up. And he drops the rope, and he goes, "How? How did you do that? How did you survive that?" And his response was, "You have to learn to love the rope. Love the rope." Well, I took that concept, and I said, I can apply that to my real life. So, for example, whenever you have a job that you have to do, a miserable job, let's say cleaning. Okay, let's say you hate cleaning. Every time you clean, you hate it. The way to get over that, the way to get beyond the hatred of cleaning or work assignments or whatever assignments is to love the rope. So if you can tell yourself in your mind that I love cleaning, cleaning is the most fun I can ever have, this is the greatest thing I can do, you can get through it. You can clean it. When I was studying for the bar exam, I had to study 8 hours a day. I sat there for 8 hours a day reading bar exam study guides. And I used that concept to love the rope. You gotta love the rope. You gotta love the rope to get me through that experience. I mean, it was several months that I spent doing this. And it worked. So my recommendation to you is when you're in a situation where you're forced to do something that's difficult, that you don't want to do, that's unpleasant, the way to get through it, the only way to get through it, is to learn to love the rope. Don't forget to read my book, Broccoli Time by Dante, available now on Amazon Books.